Gentlemen, you are the top 1% of all naval aviators. The elite. The best of the best. We'll make you better. You will fly 2 combat missions a day. Attend classes and evaluations. On each combat sequence, you're going to meet a different challenge. We'll teach you to fly the M14 faster than you've ever flown before. More dangerous. Now, we don't make policy here. Elected officials. Civilians do that. We are the instruments and must always act as though we are at war.
What are you doing? Just wondering who's the best.
If you're wondering who the best is, they're up on this plaque. The best driver and his RO from each class has his name on it. They have the option to come back here and be Top Gun instructors. You think your name will be on that plaque?
Yes, sir.
That's pretty arrogant, considering the company you're in.
Yes, sir.
I like that in a pilot. Good?
are rolling.
All right, guys. I hope you had enjoyed that that cool flight. We got a special guest, Evan, and he's from a flight test similar school over in Fort Collins. And we knew he was a great pilot, so he had to. I think he did the Wolverine justice there. That was pretty awesome. And then of course, Nick, you flew with the wings swept back. And what'd you think?
It's really fast. Like, and the rolls are insane. The only issue I think I had was the battery. I think it was too far back.
Okay.
We'll push it up and see if that fixes it. But it's just a little too tail heavy. Like, you'd go in the carrier and get stuck.
Yeah.
And it was really hard to pull out of that. But beyond that, it flew amazing.
I was gonna say, it seemed like you were ripping it pretty good. And in terms of how much you were pulling on it and stuff, it was all holding together pretty good? Awesome. And then Trent went trainer style, and so he swept his wings forward. So if you remember in the prototype, we had these pins where we can take these pins out and you can move the wing however you want. So if Trent feels like he's ready to go for it, he can then flip them back, go back up there and try to go something a little bit faster. What do you think of your setup?
It's pretty fun. Pretty stable. I mean, I'm not the greatest flyer, but
I would say it has to be pretty stable when you're saying, am I flying?
yeah, I had some.
And I was like, yeah, you've been flying for the last minute. I think you were just kind of going with the motions of the plane and you weren't even realizing, because it's hard when you got two different planes up there. But with the wings out, every once in a while I took over to do some of the high maneuvers, and it held together really well. And Trent, you did a pretty amazing job with this plane. And we're actually going to have this plane available to sell in our stores. And Trent's going to have his build video right after this, right?
Yep.
Did a pretty good job on it. It was very informative. But the one thing that he does not show in his build video is how he did the servos. Because of timing with elite guys, I only have them for an hour after school. Here's how he set up his servos. So he's got his two ailerons, and then he's got his two elevators. And what he does is he takes these two and he wire harnesses them and put them into one of the elevator or aileron slots of the receiver. And then he splits these two and puts them into a Y harness and puts it into either the elevator or aileron, whatever one you, opposite of whatever you did this one. And then you run it traditional, just like the Wolverine. So the Wolverine is an Elvon setup where you just have two control surfaces, and it's the exact same thing. But in order to get this plane to work, and what Trent found out during his prototype, is that when it's back like this, you can't do a traditional, unless you guys, I mean, you have to increase the surface area or on or what, but you cannot have just elevators and ailerons. You can't do it. You have to have an aileron system. So when he pulls up, both of these come up and both of these come up. And when he turns right, both of these turn right or pull up, both of these pull down, and vice versa. If he wants to go down, the whole thing goes down. So when you guys are building this plane and it doesn't do that, you've got some issues and it's not gonna fly right. Be our guest and try to fly it the other way. You'll be fine this way with the traditional ailerons and traditional elevator, but when you sweep that wing back, it's not gonna work the same. And so for us, for a quick change, for Trent, he just simply put it all in the same thing. So when he wants to fly fast, takes the pins out, moves them forward, and puts the pins in. So here's once again how the pins work. Just pull them out. It's just the barbecue skewer. He puts it where he wants here, and then he puts the pin back in. Now he's set up for supersonic speed. So a trainer, and then advanced. So the plane can kind of grow with you. Any last words, man? He should be pretty proud. This is a pretty sick plane. He spent a lot of time on this, and it's paid off. We had to do justice with going all out on the video, because this is your first build. I mean, you've been in the program now for 3-4 years now, and you kind of just trucked around with build flies and stuff, but now it was time for you to jump out of the box a little bit and go crazy. And you've been working on this for a year, and it's paid off. It looks amazing, so you should be pretty proud of it. Free plans available.
Yep.
Okay. And the build kits will be selling at altitudehobbies.com, and go support the program so we can keep on doing what we're doing. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.